All right, welcome back to Thrive America. Here with John Hollner and having lots and lots of aha moments. So, if you're paying attention, you can really take advantage of a lot of the strategies that we're picking up here today on Thrive America. And John, this is our last segment. I just want to say thanks so much for coming on our show.
Again, my pleasure.
You're really sharing some specific strategies with us today, and it means a lot to us and those that are watching. So we've covered 2 of the 3 R's.
Correct.
And finally, we get to the third R. Help me understand what this is.
Well, I have a program that I do that it's called the 3 Reasons Why Businesses Don't Get More Referrals. We talked about one of those reasons in the last segment, which was they don't ask for them. But more importantly, without a relationship, it's going to be very difficult to get the referral. And the relationship is that third R.
Gotcha. Well, why then are relationships so important in marketing?
Yeah. Well, the first thing is you've got that person's attention. You know, they basically, they're already talking with you and they know who you are. So when you send them an email or you send them a letter and they see your logo, they're going to recognize it. And then the second reason is your reputation should precede you. If you've done a good job for this person, then they're going to say, oh, okay, John's sending me something here today. This is great. I'm going to take a look and see what I've actually got. And then the third reason is reciprocity. For those of you who have ever read Cialdini's book, Influence and Psychology of Persuasion, if you haven't read it, I highly encourage you to do so. But reciprocity is one of the psychologies that you need to influence people. It's one of the 6 chapters in the book. And reciprocity is basically making someone feel like they owe you something because of something that you gave them first. Think about the Hare Krishnas, where they would go and they would give people a flower so that they could get a donation. You know, literally people would walk a few feet away and throw the flowers away. The Hare Krishnas would run over and grab the flowers after the people took off. But the people still gave them money because they felt this need, like, oh my gosh, this person gave me something, so I'm going to have to give them something in return. So that's where the relationship can really kick in. If you've done something good for someone and you've done a nice job for them, then that reciprocity hopefully will pay off for you.
That's great, and I see a theme in a lot of our guests that have come on that share that same principle in other ways. Like some people have talked about, be a resource to people. The principle of giver's gain.
Exactly, the B&I philosophy.
Yeah, and I think that's a great principle to adopt in your business. And what can you do? What gifts do you have that you can give to people to get that generosity principle going and working for you? John, I'm curious, when you go into companies and help them with their strategies, how are they doing in this department? What do you find?
Well, I wish I could tell you that they were knocking it out of the park in most cases, but the reality is they're not. When I ask people, do you have a customer list even, they kind of say, well, not really. When's the last time you talked to your customers? I can't remember. Those are the kinds of answers I get on a regular basis. I had a really interesting meeting with a person who's tied into the real estate industry, and one of the big real estate firms has done a lot of research to determine how many times that you need to be in front of somebody through the course of the year. And the magic number that this real estate firm came up with, and again, I haven't seen this research to validate it, but the magic number was 33 times a year. 33 times a year to maximize the impact of your marketing message. And you know, that's the whole thing. If you're not trying to reach out and connect with your clients, then why should they feel like they have a relationship with you? Just because you did a good job for them doesn't mean that they're going to remember you. You know, big problem is we can only usually keep about 5 to 7 things in our short-term memory. Well, guess what? The gas in the car, the bread that we have to, and the milk that we have to buy at the store, the fact that you know, we've got to pick up our kids somewhere, you know, at such and such a time, the call that just came in, the customer service complaint, all of these things are going to bump you out of the mind of your customer that you're trying to have that relationship, that you want to give you that referral. So if you don't consciously try to build that relationship, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, and I had an aha moment while you were speaking there, and kind of relates to this is sometimes, you know, making a relationship, and then once you even have a client, a lot of times, and this has happened to me, the client may say, well, maybe Brent doesn't want to do business with me. because he hasn't contacted me in a
Right.
while.
Exactly.
So you might, I find it surprising that's actually happened in my case, where I haven't followed up or with a current client. So so do that. So if you even have a current client and you think the relationship's great, just give them a call, reach out, see if there's anything other ways you can get business from them. Time. This 33 touches seems like, oh man, how am I going to manage my time?
Right.
What is your response to managing time when it comes to relationship marketing?
Yeah, and the problem is there's no silver bullet. Yeah, time is the biggest factor that anybody has. But if you don't consciously try to get in front of your client base on a regular basis or outsource that work, it doesn't take a whole lot to hire a customer service rep, even part-time, to come in for 3 or 4 hours a day just to make some phone calls. You can pay someone around $10 an hour to do that while you're focusing on the money-making activities of your business, where your time is much more valuable than that. But if you don't try and leverage your time, I mean, I don't know if you've heard the 4-Hour Work Week, that book. Yeah, that's another good book to take a look at. This whole idea of outsourcing your resources. You need to at least try to do that. Letters, emails. I love Twitter.com. You can follow me, Twitter.com/ATLBizConsult, if you'd like to get some more tips there. Twitter's a great way, but the reality is you have to meet your client the way they want to be communicated with. So you need to find out, does this person want a phone call? Are they open to receiving emails? Are they on Twitter? Are they on Facebook? Are they using social media? What do you need to do to stay in front of that person most of the time?
Excellent tips. So figure out what's the best way your target audience wants to be communicated to, and do it. Jump on Twitter. I just joined Twitter reluctantly the other day, and I'm actually starting to enjoy it. Is there anything we haven't covered in this area of relationship marketing before we wind things down?
Yeah, I think the one area that gets overlooked most often is the PR/event side of things. One of the resources that we have is our client base, and you can get in front of a lot of people if you throw an event. And the internet right now has a lot of ways that don't cost anything to help you to promote your events. And that's one of the areas that I've been working on a lot with my clients lately, to use some guerrilla marketing, some low-cost marketing, is to help them to think about some creative events that they can hold to get in front of a lot of people at one time. The more you can do in mass and have this mindset that I want to get in front of as many people in one step as I can, that's I think really what you want to focus on.
That is fantastic. I know I've taken advantage of this principle here at Blank Stage, where I've hosted events, and I'm going to continuing to host events and putting like-minded people together. And what's great for you is that you then become, or get the perception for you is that you're the facilitator of the event and the facilitator of people coming together, networking, and that kind of thing. All right, so John, thanks so much for coming on our show.
Absolutely.
I want to make sure that people watching, what's the best way to get in touch with you if they want to do business with you?
Yep.
Have you be a consultant for their company? What's your workflow like? How do we get in touch? What do you like to?
Probably the two best ways would be by phone, locally in Atlanta, 770-912-8774. Or you can check out my website, which is Hollner, Hollner, promos, promos.com. On there is a services tab. It talks about various programs and classes that I have inside of marketing and sales and public speaking, presentation development that you can plug into. Most of my clients will have something that's customized direct to them, but they'll all stem off of those programs that are on my website.
All right, so John, we have a Thrive America event coming up around the corner. I want to see you there.
I'll hope to be able to make it.
Awesome. So thanks so much for coming, tuning in to Thrive America. And John, thanks so much for doing such good homework on your topics, and just great material today. And take advantage of what you've heard, and we want to see your company thrive.